everyone, Uncle Jesse here. Mild spoilers for the Loki TV series, but today I'm going to be 3D printing and finishing Sylvie or Lady Loki or the Enchantress, her headpiece that she's wearing in the Loki TV series. As you might know, I've already done a video on the Loki Crown that you've seen teased in the upcoming trailers for the show. That was created by Nico Industries. Nico and his team have also created these amazing crowns here for the Enchantress or Sylvie or Lady Loki. We'll just call her Lady Loki for now. I've run off and printed a handful of these here on the Prusa Mini. It's a really quick print on the Prusa Mini, about a 4 to 5 hour print depending on your settings and orientation and how large you're gonna scale the file. I ended up scaling the default size that Nico provides of the file down slightly to better fit my head and anyone else with a smaller size head by about 10% down to about 90% scale. And what's really great about it is that it is a headband design style like you see in the show, so that it can easily fit on someone's head and slide behind the ears. What's also gonna be great about this is once I get this finished, I should be able to just use a heat gun or a hair dryer, and you can warm up the sides to bend them in a little bit to more comfortably sit on someone's face without needing any sort of straps. I should also mention it is crazy hot in my workshop because I have 3 other 3D printers running Etsy jobs right now. So obviously the first thing that you're gonna do once you get your print finished is get it off the build plate and start removing all of the supports so that you can more accurately inspect your 3D print and see what sort of modifications or tweaks that you need to make it a final product. What's great about the Prusa Mini is that it does produce some really high quality prints, and if I wanted to, I could just wear this as is and leave this as a prop here, or I could just apply a little bit of different colored paints to give it a more weathered look and feel. But for today, I'm actually gonna go through the process of slightly sanding it down and smoothing it out and actually finishing it as close as I can get it to the TV series. So before I run off and start sanding or painting anything, one thing that I like to do is use my Dremel along with the flex shaft that I was mentioning in my Walmart video that I just recently posted. You can find a link up here in the corner if you haven't already seen that one. But this is a great tool when it comes to sanding down your 3D print. And more specifically, I use this on areas of the 3D print that are a little bit rough from where the supports were in contact when it was 3D printing. One thing that I make sure to do is that when I'm going over the print with the Dremel and the drum sand attachment, that I'm not staying in one place for more than a second. It will easily melt the plastic of your 3D print. So you just wanna gently press across the print to help smooth out any of those rough areas of the 3D print, especially any of the areas that are gonna be directly sitting against your skin. I'll also typically do this step on a lot of the 3D prints that I sell over on Etsy, just so it's a little bit of a better experience for anyone that's purchasing a file off the shop. It's something that you should consider if you're selling 3D prints. I also highly recommend wearing some eye protection when using one of these Dremels here, because you will get plastic that's gonna kick back up in your face, and you definitely don't want any plastic in your eye. And yes, these goggles are fogging up on me, which has made it for a very challenging time here in my shop. But for this one, I'm just gonna end up doing a little bit of sanding. I did end up running into an issue on my very first attempt at printing this, and it's because I didn't have the temperature set right. And I have a little bit of a hairline fracture in my print that runs along the seam here. And I believe that was because I didn't have the temperature set hot enough for this Gold Silk PLA that I was printing with. If you're interested in the Gold PLA that I'm working with, I'll have links down below where you can find that over on Amazon. But we're gonna try out something new today, and that is using some of this Starbond CA glue along with their accelerator to see if we can actually fill that gap with CA glue. And more specifically, this is the Starbond Gap Filler. It's a thicker CA glue that I'm gonna be using to help fill that seam. Now, you could probably more or less fill that with some Bondo spot putty or some wood filler or a variety of other ways. But again, I wanted to try something a little bit new here. I do use their CA glue for a lot of my projects as well, but this is the first time that I'm gonna be using their thick CA glue, which is fun. So normally you're using something like CA glue to join 2 pieces together. Well, this time I'm gonna be using it to, again, just fill that seam. And this is their accelerator. So basically what this does is you can spray it on the glue and it almost instantaneously cause it to harden up and firm up. So here I'm just gonna spritz this on. It's already dried to touch here, which is pretty crazy. So obviously it's bubbled up just a little bit there where I've applied the CA glue to it. So what I'm gonna do here is just sand these areas smooth. So if I just use my sandpaper now, I should be able to start going over the print and lightly sanding down these areas, and in theory, it should have filled those gaps for me. So now I've done a once-over sanding job to help smooth down any of the areas where the glue was, as well as just any areas that I thought were a little bit rough, that I wanted to be a little bit smoother before I apply any of the primer filler. Before we start the painting process, I wanted to take a little bit of a heat to this so that we can better shape it to your head. And what I'm going to be using is a heat gun that I picked up from Harbor Freight. If you don't have a heat gun, don't worry. If you have a hair dryer, that will work just as well. Basically, the concept is you just want to heat up the areas that you want to reshape slightly. You don't want it to melt the part, but you just want to go over it a handful of times there until it's a little bit more flexible, and then you can better mold it to your body. Once it cools, it'll be fully hardened in whatever shape that you just placed it in. So here you can see I've pushed in the corners here at a more inward angle. Now that we've done that, let's get these outside and get them primed. So here are two crowns that we've been working with, one of which happens to be the one that we sanded smooth after applying some of the Starbond CA glue to it, and unfortunately I did end up with some bubbling or just some defects on the surface here. I could sand this further smooth if I wanted to and reapply some primer, but I don't really care to. From the looks of the TV show, it does look like it's a fairly worn and weathered headpiece here, and I'm all for that weathered look when it comes to replica props. The other, I barely did any sanding on. I only used the Dremel to smooth down some of the rough areas, and then I applied 3 heavy coats of primer filler, and it really did a great job of smoothing this out. Again, I could use a little bit of Bondo spot putty if I wanted to go back through and really refine this if I'd like to. However, for this prop, I think it's gonna look just fine once we get some color added to it. And that's also why I'm wearing this glove here. I'm gonna be applying some rub and buff to both of these. I have this gold leaf as well as antique gold that we're going to be applying to both of these. Additionally, if you wanted to just apply some spray paint to these, some sort of gold or antique gold looking spray paint to the prop as well. But for this process, I'm going to be using the rub and buff for it. So what I'm going to do is use some of this gold leaf here first. This should be like a really nice gold looking material. I don't know how old this is. It might be dried out. All right, so after clearing that dried off portion along the top, I'm gonna pour a liberal amount there to the top. Keep in mind, a small amount of this rub and buff goes a long way when it comes to your props. And I'm gonna use one of these foam sponges and just start applying it to the prop here. And here you can see, just brushing it on to the surface here after I have applied some black paint, and it's going on really easily. Rub and buff is such a smooth to use tool when it comes to finishing and adding some finish to your pieces here. And then next up, we're going to be using the antique bronze to brush this on. Ooh, I'm really liking how the antique bronze is looking on this. So here are 3 different ways you can finish this 3D print really quickly and easily. This is a nice one-day build that you can run off and 3D print and finish. It's a super simple project, and it's a great one from the Loki series here. So here's the raw 3D print. Here's the gold leaf. So this is the more gold option there that was with the gold rub and buff. So just applying a little bit of black base paint and then the rub and buff on top of it. And a similar process with the antique bronze. And I think the antique bronze is what's gonna get us closest to what we've seen in the TV show so far. This looks really good, and I thought I was gonna have to do some further weathering with some black shoe polish or acrylic paint. And I really don't think I need to do any of that because of the black base coat there is still showing through where the high points only picked up with the rub and buff. Fantastic, simple way to finish your 3D prints. I wanted to say a huge thank you to Nico Industries for sponsoring today's video. If you're interested in either the Loki Crown or this Sylvie Lady Loki Crown, you'll find those over on nicoindustries.com. It's a fantastic place to get your cosplay related 3D printable files, and also you can now actually sell your own 3D files as well as 3D prints directly over on Nico Industries. If you're interested in more information, you will find links down below. Highly recommend that, and thanks again to Nico for providing these amazing files that I've been showing off in today's video. I also want to say a big thank you to all my Patreon members for helping support me make videos like you're seeing here today. If you're interested in finding out more about my Patreon, you can find links down below. Now I can't wait to see what happens next on Loki, but you'll be sure if there are any other cool replica props that could be printed and shown off, that I'll be showing them to you here. Hey, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye now. Look at that. Oh, fits perfectly and nicely snug on my head here. Now if I just had longer hair to go over this.